So the mud wall behind me, this ramp here, this was the original mud wall used that they climbed up it to put these large blocks on top. This is proof, y'all. This wasn't the aliens that did it. The Egyptians actually did it. Ancient aliens, I don't know. You never showed this on your show. It is really bright out. It is deceptively early. The sun is up, but it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. We are on our way to the train station to catch our train. We have already got tickets. The hotel was kind enough to go get them for us. We have seats. Now it's just a matter of getting a taxi and getting to the train station for a 3-hour journey to Luxor. All right, leaving the hotel, just had breakfast. Now on the way to get the taxi, which they said we could get right at the front of the hotel. You know, like a usual hotel. 10-minute taxi ride to the train station. It is currently 7 o'clock. Train leaves at 7:30. We already have seats, so that shouldn't be a problem, but I think we can do this. You know you want to find out, right? Stay around. All right. We did end up stopped at the end of security by a couple men asking us where we came from, what country. Apparently Egypt is doing demographics for the year, for where their tourists are coming from, which is good, I guess. They stopped us twice on the drive yesterday to Aswan to ask as well. There were 2 checkpoints, but right now we're heading to car number 1. That's where our seats are, apparently, here. This is the first class cabin. I think somebody's leftover eggshell breakfast was on my seat. I just put all the eggshells on the ground, used some disinfectant, and ready for a 3-hour journey to Luxor. It was only $6 a seat. First class. Check that. Raul just corrected me. It was $4.50 for this ticket. About an hour left. I'm in between cars. The toilet is right here. Let's go in and have a look. An actual toilet. Sink. Not the cleanest toilet in the world, but still it'll do. In a pinch, I suppose. I don't have to go, so I'm going to close it up. Alright, an hour left. We're just pulling into the station at Luxor. It's 3 hours and 37 minutes later. It smells like cigarette smoke on this train, and I don't know where it's coming from. I don't see anybody smoking. Maybe they do it sometimes, but everything seems to have a coating of cigarette chemicals all over it. That said, it was well worth the $6, $5. it was well worth the $4 to $5 price ticket. Okay, now we're gonna go try and get a taxi and go to our hotel. And I just walked right into the pole. Our taxi driver's named Bob. It's really Mohammed, but he said to call him Bob. He's offered to take us around to the West Bank and East Bank temples. East Bank today, West Bank tomorrow. He says he provides the best Egyptologist ever. I wonder if it's Indiana Jones. We're gonna see if that makes sense to do it. It didn't seem too expensive. I think he said it was about 600 pounds, Egyptian pounds. But we'll see. He's given me his number. I'm going to WhatsApp him in a few. But for now, Hilton Luxor welcome drink. It's like an apple mint tea. It's really good. Alright, we've made it to our room. Decent room. No real complaints, but I do have to say, the view is not as good as the other two that we had.
His first dose next week in a remote village in Serbia in order to boost the campaign of people living outside.
Can't win them all. Alright, so we've got a tour planned. We are going to go to Luxor and Karnak temples today. They are on the East Bank. It should take about 3 hours, they said. And then tomorrow we're going to the West Bank, Valley of the Kings, Hot Chipsut, all that good stuff. So Karnak Temple, Luxor Temple coming up next. You thought I was going to hit the screen. Alright, so we spoke to the taxi driver about potentially getting a tour to the temples, and I made the mistake of giving him my number on WhatsApp. He has been contacting me like crazy. His price did not include the entrance to the temples, which is an additional $3 million more, actually this much. And so a bit of advice. Don't pretend you're interested in the taxi when they say, hey, we can give you a driver and give you a tour. It turns out it's just the same price to get it right through my hotel. But I'm trying to avoid him now. All right, we are starting our journey here through Luxor at the Karnak Temple. Why? Because it closes the earliest. Apparently there's a light show and sound show on this temple as well, just like the pyramid that we didn't show you because we got too cold. But so we're gonna start here. It closes in an hour and a half, and then we're going to move on to Luxor Temple tonight. So that's gonna be 2 places we're gonna visit tonight, and then we're going to go to the other side of the river tomorrow. More information in a bit. All right. So we're about to go into the Karnak Temple. This is Mustafa. He is our guide for the day. You'll see him on the video. Say hi.
Nice to meet you.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to Luxor.
Thank you, let's do this. So on the entrance, Mustafa just told us this is the Avenue of the Sphinxes. I actually remember this from art history class. Thank you, Dr. Schwab. This was built by Ramses II, and the Sphinx has a weird ram and lion configuration, and this symbolizes fertility and strength, but it lines the entire road on the way into the temple. So Mustafa was telling us that this was in much, much better condition than it is now. It's still in great condition. However, there used to be a roof on here and there used to be lots more hieroglyphics at the base of these columns. Apparently in the 1800s, 1887, a Frenchman came over and he thought to clean it, he would use the Nile River to flood it. However, the water level reached up way high over my head, destroyed the roof and destroyed much of the relief on the base of these columns. Seems like a real stupid idea, but it's a shame because they were showing pictures of what it would have looked like, but it's still in amazing condition. This place is great. So the obelisk behind me is the obelisk of Hatshepsut. Mustafa was telling us that it was carved out of granite and the granite comes from Aswan. They didn't have the granite here, so they carved the entire thing in one piece in Aswan, and then they waited for the floods to come so that they could put it on ships up toward Luxor, and then they erected it here. It is massive, in amazing condition. It hasn't been restored at all. So maybe the aliens helped them with that. All right, so that is it for Karnak Temple, the second largest temple in the world. Now we're gonna go off to Luxor, so we are on our way to drive there. So back to the car. Knack, come on. All right, next up is Luxor Temple. This place looks luxurious. They laughed. I thought it was funny. Okay, so there are actually three parts. The first part is the Temple of Ramses. The middle part that we saw was the Temple of Amenhotep, and the third part was redesigned basically by the Romans. They covered over all of the Egyptian portions of it in about 40 AD with frescoes and painted over it. Most of that has fallen off, so what's left is the Egyptian surface. Really cool though. Right, Raul?
Thanks.
Raul's a pain in the neck. All right, we're back at the hotel room. This city has tons of different temples. Half of them had to get done today, so we did the temples on the east bank today. You saw Luxor Temple and you saw Karnak Temple. Massive. And then we're going to do the West Bank temples tomorrow, the Valley of the Kings. We took the train up to Luxor from Aswan, pretty uneventful. The train was quick, but it smelled like cigarette smoke, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said yes. It was a quick 3 hours up to Luxor. We checked into our hotel, looked into getting a guide, and we ended up with Mustafa, who was one of the guides that was provided by our hotel. So he took us on half of our journey today, and the other half is going to be tomorrow at 9 a.m. At least we can sleep a little bit later. But yeah, the Karnak Temple was absolutely amazing. It's massive and sprawling. You need more time there than we had to give it today. But then we went to Luxor Temple, and that sunset was amazing. You guys saw the video footage. I hope it looks good on the TV or the computer screen, because I can only see it on the little screen of the camera now. So tomorrow, stay tuned. Valley of the Kings, Temple of Hatshepsut, King Tut's tomb. It's going to be amazing. And we're also going to see the Valley of the Queens. Egypt's been wonderful. I want to thank you for watching. If you want to see the next episode, don't forget to click subscribe. If you liked this one, leave a comment, like it, you know what to do. I'll reply to the comments. But thanks again for watching, and I hope you come again next time, and have a good night.